What if I told you your cat is quietly waiting for you to do one simple thing, not once, but every single day, and most people never even realize it? It's not about food or clean water, or whether they have a comfy bed or the latest interactive toy. It's something far more personal, far more emotional, and much more subtle. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, my cat is well fed, healthy, safe, what more could they possibly want from me? You're not wrong. But you're also missing the part that matters most. Because for your cat, those physical needs are only the baseline. What they're waiting for, what they're hoping for, is something else. Connection. And not just any connection, but a kind that's real, quiet, consistent, and on their terms, not yours. That kind of connection isn't built in one afternoon. It's built day by day, through a series of small actions that, when done intentionally, speak a language your cat actually understands. If you care about truly understanding your cat, not just meeting their needs, but building a bond that lasts, consider subscribing. We explore small, meaningful ways to become the kind of human your cat chooses every day. Point 1. Silent presence. Sit and stay. Every day, take 10 minutes to simply sit down on the floor near your cat and do absolutely nothing. No talking, no phone, no attempts to pet or play. Just exist in their space without trying to engage them. This non-action, strange as it may seem, is deeply meaningful to a cat. In feline social dynamics, safety is often communicated through calm coexistence. Sitting quietly nearby shows your cat that you're not a threat, that you're not demanding anything, and that you're aware of their autonomy. Don't call their name, don't initiate anything. Just be still. At first, they might ignore you or even walk away. That's fine. Over time, they may begin to approach. They may sit near you, stretch beside you, or simply observe you from across the room. These are quiet invitations. This practice, done daily, becomes a ritual your cat comes to understand. And in a cat's world, rituals matter more than words. Point 2. Intentional voice. Talk calmly, talk often. Your voice is one of the most consistent elements of your presence, and cats recognize it over time as a source of either tension or safety. Most people speak to their cat when giving instructions or reacting to behavior, but cats need something more subtle. They respond to tone, pacing, energy. Try speaking to your cat during quiet moments, in the kitchen while cooking, as you make the bed, or while reading. Use their name gently. Narrate your actions softly, not because they understand your words, but because they understand your intent. A calm, steady voice builds emotional familiarity. Over time, your cat begins to associate that voice with stability. This isn't about baby talk or commands. It's about making your presence more emotionally legible. The more often your cat hears your voice used gently, the more likely they are to respond with curiosity, trust, and even soft vocalizations of their own. Point 3. Eye language. Master the slow blink. When your cat looks at you, what do? Most people either look away or stare without thinking. But in feline communication, eye contact is loaded with meaning. A slow blink from a cat is a sign of deep trust. You can respond or even initiate this signal yourself. When your cat is looking at you, soften your gaze. Then slowly close your eyes over about 2 seconds, pause, and slowly open them again. Do this without expectation. Sometimes your cat will blink back. Sometimes they won't. That's not the point. The message you're sending is what matters. It says, I'm relaxed, I feel safe, you can trust me. Repeating this gesture daily reinforces a shared emotional language between you and your cat. It's subtle, silent, and deeply effective. Many cats, especially shy or cautious ones, begin to move closer after these exchanges because they recognize the absence of pressure in your gaze. Point 4. Daily ritual. Create predictable moments. Cats don't just tolerate routine, they rely on it. Establishing a daily bonding ritual, even a short one, gives your cat something to anticipate with comfort. It could be brushing them before bed, giving a small treat after dinner, sitting quietly with them every morning while you drink your coffee, or simply lying down next to them during a particular time of day. The key isn't what you do, it's when and how you do it. Your cat learns patterns quickly. If you're consistent, those 5 minutes a day begin to carry emotional weight. Your cat begins to expect that time. They wait for it. And in waiting, they're choosing to include you in their routine. When you fulfill that pattern reliably, it gives them a feeling of emotional security they can't get from objects or toys. Inconsistency breeds anxiety in cats. Predictability breeds trust. Point 5. Respect boundaries. Let them come to you. One of the most common mistakes people make with cats is assuming that affection is something you can initiate at any moment. But for cats, affection is meaningful only when it's offered voluntarily. If your cat walks away when you approach, that's not rejection, it's communication. If they sit nearby but not on your lap, that's not distance. It's an invitation to coexist without pressure. The more you respect your cat's space, the more they'll begin to choose you freely. That means no forced cuddles, no chasing them when they leave the room, no grabbing them when they're not seeking touch. If they come close, let them lead. If they leave, stay put. This shows your cat that you're emotionally reliable, not reactive. Over time, that respect builds a foundation of trust far stronger than any forced affection ever could. The bond deepens not because you demand it, but because you've proven you're worthy of it. Point 6. Let them initiate touch, not you. Many people believe that petting their cat is how bonding happens. And while touch is important, what matters even more is who initiates it. If your cat rubs against your leg, presses their head into your hand, or sits close and leans into you, don't rush to respond. Wait, let them finish their gesture. When cats initiate contact, they are inviting you into their emotional space. Responding too quickly can interrupt that offering. Instead, pause, then follow their lead. Stroke where they've directed you. Mirror their pace. If they guide your hand with a subtle movement, lowering their head, arching their back, lifting their tail, listen to that cue. By responding rather than initiating, you're showing your cat that you're paying attention, that you're willing to let them define the terms of affection. And that, in the feline world, is a profound sign of emotional safety. Point 7. Play like prey, not like a human. Most people play with their cats the way humans play, with noise, energy, and chaos. But cats aren't wired that way. For them, play is a hunting simulation. It's not entertainment, it's instinctual fulfillment. The more your play mimics the behavior of prey, the more satisfying and meaningful it becomes. This means you shouldn't just wave a toy in front of your cat randomly or move it too fast without rhythm. Instead, let the toy act like a small animal. Hide it behind a corner, let it freeze, make it move in sudden short bursts. Allow your cat to stalk. Give them pauses to prepare. Let them win occasionally. That feeling of catching the prey creates a hormonal satisfaction, and since you're the one creating the environment, your cat associates that good feeling with your presence. This form of intentional, instinct-based play not only reduces stress and boredom, it also builds a shared activity that deepens the emotional connection between you and your cat. Point 8. Accept their scent marking and reciprocate. Cats live in a world of scent. It's how they identify safe territory, recognize others, and communicate status. When your cat rubs their face on your leg, hand, or even your furniture, they're depositing scent from their facial glands. It's not just a habit, it's a form of social bonding. When they rub on you, they're saying, "You belong to me. I feel safe with you." When this happens, the best thing you can do is simply let it happen. Stay still. Don't push them away or distract them. You can even offer your forehead gently if they approach your face. It's a sign of deep trust if they choose to rub their head there. These scent exchanges are not about control. They're about co-ownership of shared space. When you allow your cat to mark you this way without interruption, you reinforce that you are a trusted presence in their emotional and physical world. Point 9. Mirror their energy, don't override it. A common mistake people make with cats is assuming they should always be the one to set the tone. But cats are energy-sensitive creatures. They're constantly observing your mood, your movements, your tension, your calm. If your cat is quiet and still, and you approach them with noisy affection or sudden excitement, you may cause stress instead of connection. Conversely, if they initiate high-energy play and you remain unresponsive or distracted, they feel ignored. The key is to tune into their state before engaging. If they're lounging, approach slowly. Lie down nearby. Match their pace. If they're alert and curious, join them. Offer a toy. If they're unsure, give them space. This kind of emotional mirroring builds non-verbal understanding. It shows your cat that you're not trying to control their environment. You're entering it with awareness and respect. And when you meet a cat where they are instead of trying to pull them toward you, they remember. Point 10. Recognize quiet affection for what it is. Not all cats express affection with touch. In fact, many of the most deeply bonded cats are those who rarely sit on laps or seek out petting. But that doesn't mean they're cold. It means they express closeness differently. Quiet affection can look like sitting a few feet away but facing you, blinking slowly from across the room, sleeping in your space but not on you, or following you from room to room without making a sound. These behaviors are not incidental, they're intentional. They are ways your cat says, "I'm with you and I feel safe around you." If you only measure bonding by touch, you'll miss the many ways your cat is already choosing you every day. Learning to recognize and appreciate quiet affection makes you a more attentive and trustworthy presence. And once your cat knows you notice the small things, they'll often start offering bigger things, like physical closeness, because they no longer need to prove you understand. What's one subtle way your cat shows you they trust you? Maybe it's the way they blink from across the room, or how they choose to be near you even without touch. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Point 11. Let them groom you, gently and briefly. If your cat licks your hand, fingers, arm, or even your face, it might surprise you. Some people instinctively pull away, thinking it's odd or unpleasant. But in feline behavior, grooming is one of the most intimate forms of connection. Cats groom their family members. When they groom you, they're saying, "You're one of mine." This isn't just cute, it's profound. The best way to respond is to let them do it briefly. Stay calm, stay still. Maybe say their name softly. Let them end the grooming, not you. It's a vulnerable act for a cat to initiate this contact. Interrupting it too quickly may signal rejection or confusion. And allowing it, even for a few seconds, deepens your social bond in a language cats have used for thousands of years. It's one of the few moments where the human fully enters the feline world on their terms. Point 12. Don't just pet. Respond to where they guide you. Touch in cat bonding is highly specific. They don't want to be pet anywhere, anytime, in any way. They want to be pet in specific places, for specific lengths of time, with specific intensity, and those preferences often change daily. Your job is not to guess. Your job is to observe. Many cats will guide your hand subtly. They'll dip their head when they want chin scratches, arch their back for spine strokes, flick their tail to say enough, or shift their body when they want contact in a different area. The more you pay attention to these signals and follow them, the more your cat trusts you. It shows that you're not just touching them, you're listening to them. Petting becomes a conversation, not an imposition. When you consistently respond to their cues instead of forcing your own, the experience of touch becomes safe, enjoyable, and reinforcing. Your cat learns that you're not just affectionate, you're respectful. Point 13. Pass the trust test. React to mistakes calmly. Your cat is going to do something that annoys you. It's guaranteed. They might scratch your furniture, bite you mid-play, push a glass off a table, or knock something down at 3 a.m. But in that moment, something else is happening. Your cat is learning who you are under pressure. If you yell, stomp, or punish, you may stop the behavior, but you also damage the bond. Your cat doesn't understand punishment in the way humans do. They understand energy. Sudden anger tells them, this person is unpredictable. Calm redirection tells them, this person is stable. When a boundary is crossed, use a low, firm tone. Redirect them to something appropriate. End the interaction gently. Never use your hands to scare or threaten. These moments are the hidden tests of your emotional safety. Fail them too often, and your cat withdraws. Pass them calmly, and you reinforce the message that you're emotionally consistent, even when they mess up. Point 14. Let curiosity lead, not control. Cats are naturally curious. They want to sniff, paw, explore, and interact with their world in their own time. When you constantly block that curiosity, you're not just interrupting play, you're interrupting learning and trust. Instead of always managing their behavior, try joining it. If your cat is obsessed with a drawer, open it for them. If they follow you into the bathroom, Sit and let them explore. If they get interested in your sock pile, let them interact with it for a minute. These moments are not just distractions, they're bonding. You're entering their world. You're showing them that their instincts are safe with you, that they're allowed to be themselves. And in a world where humans so often demand obedience, simply allowing your cat to be curious and free, especially in your presence, is one of the most liberating and trust-building gifts you can give. Point 15. Stop believing the myths that hurt your connection. Even with the best intentions, many people unintentionally damage their bond with their cat by believing things that simply aren't true. These myths don't just mislead, they erode trust. The first is thinking that if your cat doesn't cuddle, they don't love you. This is false. Many bonded cats rarely touch their humans directly. Instead, they express connection through proximity, presence, and gaze. If they follow you from room to room or sleep near you, they are absolutely bonded. Another myth is that cats are independent and don't need affection. This too is false. Cats do not express need in loud or obvious ways like dogs might, but they still crave stability, consistency, and emotional connection. People often assume talking to a cat is pointless, but tone and rhythm matter deeply to them. Your voice, when used gently and consistently, becomes a signal of safety. Some believe that if a cat doesn't bond quickly, they never will. In truth, some cats, especially rescues or those with trauma, take months or even years to fully trust someone. Patience and consistency almost always pay off. Another common idea is that cats don't feel the same emotional depth as dogs, but they do. They experience attachment, loss, stress, joy, comfort, just in quieter, subtler ways. And lastly, one of the most damaging myths is labeling cats as difficult. Cats aren't difficult. They're particular. They have emotional boundaries. They communicate indirectly. Once you understand that, everything begins to make sense. Point 16. Introduce mini-bonding moments throughout the day. You don't need to create long, dedicated bonding sessions every day to build trust. In fact, small, reliable micro-interactions are often more powerful because they become seamlessly integrated into your daily rhythm. Think about ways you can naturally include your cat in ordinary moments. Say their name gently when you first wake up. Walk slowly past them and blink as you do. Offer a single treat at the same time every day. Sit on the floor next to them for 5 minutes after work. These don't need to feel formal. They should feel natural, recurring, dependable. You're not trying to entertain them. You're showing them that your presence is predictable and kind. These little signals accumulate. They become a soft foundation of trust, telling your cat, "You're not forgotten. You're part of this moment with me." Over time, your cat may begin to anticipate them and even initiate them. Point 17. Track the subtle signs that the bond is working. It's easy to get discouraged if your cat doesn't show affection in the ways you expect. But cats don't measure relationships in hugs and kisses. They measure them in trust and proximity. If you want to know if your efforts are working, don't look for dramatic changes. Look for quiet shifts. Does your cat now enter rooms just to sit near you? Do they make soft eye contact or blink slowly when you walk by? Do they choose to nap in your space? Do they follow your voice even when food isn't involved? Do they vocalize with you more often, in softer tones? These are the signs of a bond in motion. You're not forcing love. You're creating an emotional environment in which love becomes the natural response. And once these subtle behaviors appear, you'll know you're not just their caretaker. You're becoming someone they choose to trust. Point 18. Learn to share stillness without purpose. Some of the most powerful moments of connection with a cat happen when nothing is happening at all. You're sitting quietly, and they come lie near you. You're reading, and they settle beside you. There are no toys, no treats, no interaction, just shared presence. This is sacred ground in the world of feline bonding. Cats don't always seek stimulation, they seek peace. And when you can offer peace without needing to touch, talk, or guide the moment, your cat recognizes that. Begin practicing intentional stillness with your cat, not to get them to do something, not to reward them, just to be with them. You'll begin to notice how they soften in those moments, how their breathing slows, how their tail curls gently, how they relax completely. You don't need to make these moments special. You just need to be there, still, open, calm. Over time, those quiet, uneventful minutes will become the strongest part of your relationship. Point 19. Let your cat redefine what bonding means. Most people have a pre-built image in their mind of what bonding looks like. It might include purring in your lap, sleeping on your chest, or running to the door when you get home. But not all cats show connection that way, and forcing them to match your idea of bonding often leads to frustration. Instead, allow your cat to define what closeness means to them. Some cats bond through quiet companionship, some through gentle grooming, others through brief, intense bursts of play, some through simply existing near you in the same room with no contact. Let that be enough. And once your cat feels safe showing you their version of affection, they'll do it more. They'll expand it. They'll begin to meet you halfway. The most deeply bonded cats are those who are not forced into a mold, but are understood in their natural form. Point 20. Ask yourself this one question every day. As you move through your daily routine with your cat, stop once a day and ask yourself this. Did I make my cat feel safe with me today? Not did I play enough? Or did I pet them? Or did I do all the steps? Just that one question. Because safety is the foundation of every kind of connection. If your cat feels emotionally safe with you, they will come closer. If they feel unsure, they will retreat. Every interaction, every moment, either reinforces that safety or undermines it. It's not about perfection. It's about intention. If you spend even 2 minutes making your cat feel seen, safe, and free to choose how they interact with you, you've done more than most. And tomorrow, you'll do it again. And over time, those moments of safety grow into something that can't be bought, trained, or rushed. They grow into trust, into ritual, into love. Point 21. You're not just building a bond, you're becoming someone worth trusting. Your cat doesn't care how much you know about their breed or what toys you've bought or how many supplements you've added to their food. They care about how you make them feel, not once, but every day. Do you show up gently? Do you listen instead of push? Do you respect their signals? Do you offer peace instead of pressure? If the answer is yes, even on just some days, you're becoming what your cat actually wants. A stable presence, a predictable rhythm, a human who listens with their actions, not just their voice. Bonding with a cat isn't a project, it's a way of being. And one day, when your cat sits a little closer, or blinks a little slower, or follows you from room to room for no reason at all, you'll realize something quietly wonderful. They've chosen you, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. And that choice is everything. And if you're ready to keep building that trust, there's more waiting for you. Explore the next step in your journey toward a deeper bond. Your cat will notice.